I wanted to bring my community of supporters into the creative process of this video, so I put a call out for photos with the theme blue. Basically anything from their phone's camera that had shades of blue. And those photos became the starting point for this video. And putting this video together was a whole new experience. I love that the photos are like European style architecture and the Australian bush ended up being in this scene. It's pretty cool. Okay, I love how I was able to change like the iconic Three Sisters landscape in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales into this scene. Now if you look real carefully, you can still make out like the Three Sisters in it. Here's a simple breakdown of the pipeline. I generated scenes in Midjourney, then had to do some manual edits in Photoshop before exporting the stills into Runway. Now Runway is what I use to create video footage from the stills. I then bring the video footage into Premiere Pro to edit them some more. My decision to use these tools stemmed from my curiosity to explore new tools and challenge my skills as an artist. Using these tools meant that creating this video took a lot longer than my usual filming process. So I started generating ideas on the 13th of January and I exported the final version of the video on the 9th of May. Usually I work super fast. In the past, my music videos have only taken me a week, less than a week to edit. So this one takes the cake for the longest time spent editing. So why did it take so long? Well, firstly, even though I had a theme, I needed to settle on the style I wanted. Want to know what the starting point for this whole era was? It's this image of Kane from John Wick 4. Now the problem with this image is that the lighting in this image was a bit too similar to my previous release, my previous project, Romance and Rebellion. And this new era has a different mood, so I needed to explore how I could express that visually. So I had to keep refining prompts in Midjourney until I arrived at a point where I was sure of what I wanted stylistically. Now, once I had that clarity though, my decision making became a lot quicker as I began to visualize scenes in my mind before crafting the prompts to generate them in Midjourney. When I was considering using Midjourney as a tool, I asked photographer She's Aphrodite what she found most challenging about working with generative AI. And she said that the most difficult aspect was coming up with the ideas in the first place, not so much using the tools. And I found this to be true. By the way, She's Aphrodite and me collaborated on the press shots of this release where we combine her photography with generative AI. Should I make a video explaining that process? Well, let me know in the comments. Now, even though I use AI to generate what I visualize in my imagination, one thing I've been doing more and more since using this process is to allow myself to accept the surprises that generative AI throws at me. Like there's some wacky, trippy stuff that it throws at you. So when it comes to selecting scenes, I try not to get hung up on like the weird, surreal bits. Instead, I try to let the initial emotional impact of a scene guide my decision to whether I want to include it or discard it. This video starts in the real world. The photos that people sent in became the building blocks I used to blend scenes together in Midjourney. Generating and getting the animation for the plane to look right took a frustratingly long time. Then the viewer is drawn into my world through this door. Now this track is about the yearning one feels within the depths of loneliness. The title refers to a very specific hue of blue, and the vibrancy of this color is a counterpoint to the emptiness of loneliness. It's vibrancy highlighting the hollowness beneath it. This is one of my favorite scenes. Kind of embracing the surrealness that comes with using AI tools. For this era, I wanted to lean into my own heritage for inspiration. Now, Chinese culture places a high value on communal meals. So here the deserted restaurant scenes depict a stark contrast to that ideal, highlighting the isolation of loneliness. Fire is one of the 5 elements in Chinese philosophy, and in contrast to blue and loneliness, fire brings warmth and light. However, it can also represent destruction if not controlled. So this echoes the concept of yin and yang, where, opposing forces create balance. Now, getting people to look normal in these scenes proved challenging. When this video was made, AI was still struggling with processing human figures. In Chinese culture, fans have historically been more than just a way to keep cool. They were often seen as symbols of social standing. So loneliness and social status are two concepts that often intertwine. Preparing dumplings is a joyous family ritual bringing generations together. Here, the uneaten dumplings in a dark restaurant symbolize the absence of that connection. Not gonna lie, I'm a slut for dumplings. The Chinese calligraphy in these scenes is most likely inaccurate. Sadly, I have almost zero literacy in Chinese characters. As the music ends here, the viewer exits my world and returns to the real world. Now, I must have generated like literally hundreds of scenes in Midjourney, tweaking prompts to achieve consistency in style and lighting. Thank you so much to all of you who contributed your photos for this video. If you haven't listened to Yves Klein yet, please go stream it. And if you haven't seen the official music visualizer for this song, don't forget to check it out.